fight for Little Round Top was an intense conflict within the larger Battle of Gettysburg. The struggle to control Strategic Hill on the battle's second day became legendary for dramatic feats of bravery conduct under within fire. Despite repeat assaults by the Second Confederate troops, the Union soldiers who arrived at the top of the hill just in time to defeat it managed to throw together a stout defense. The Union troops facing repeat assaults succeeded in keeping the high ground. Had the Confederate been able to seize Little Round Top, they could have overrun the left flank of the entire Union army and possibly won the battle. The fate of the entire Civil War may have been decided by that brutal fighting for one hill overlooking Pennsylvania farmland. Thanks to a popular novel and often televised 1993 film based upon it, the progression of the fighting on Little Round Top often focuses exclusively on the role played by the 20th Maine Regiment and Commander Cole Joshua Zimmerland. While the 20th Maine did perform heroically, the battle contained other elements which are, in some ways, even more dramatic. As the Battle of Gettysburg developed during the first day, the Union troops held a series of high ridges running southern from the town. At the south end of the ridge were two distinct hills, known locally for years as Big Round Top and Little Round Top. The geographic importance of Little Round Top is obvious. Whoever controlled the ground could dominate the countryside to the west for miles. And with most of the Union army arranged in the north of the hill represented extreme left flank on the Union lines. Losing that portion would be disastrous. And despite that, the vast numbers of troops took up positions during the night of July 1st. Little Round Top was somehow overlooked by Union commanders. On the morning of July 2nd, 1863, the Strategic Hilltop was barely occupied. A small detachment of single men, troops who passed orders via flag signals, reached the top of the hill. No major fighting detachment had arrived. The Union commander, General George Meade, had dispatched his chief of engineers, General Governor K. Warren, to inspect the federal position along the hills south of Gettysburg. When Warren arrived at Little Round Top, he immediately realized the importance. Warren suspected Confederate troops were massing for an assault on the position. He was able to get a nearby gun crew to fire a cannonball into the woods to the west of Little Round Top, and what he saw confirmed his fears. Hundreds of Confederate soldiers moved in the woods as the cannonballs sailed over their heads. Warren later claimed he could see sunlight leading off their bayonets and rifle barrels. Now, when I've been to Little Round Top, the woods obviously have gotten taller for the woods that are still there. There is a path now for any bus tours or people just walking by working by now. But back then, obviously, as I said many times, you can literally feel the history running through your body. General Ward immediately sent orders for troops to come to defend the top of the hill. The courier with the order encountered Paul Strawn Vincent, a Harvard graduate who had enlisted in the army at the beginning of the war. He immediately began to directing the regiments in his command to begin climbing Little Round Top. Reaching the top, Paul Vincent placed troops in defense lines. The 20th Maine, commanded by Colonel Joshua Chamberlain, was the next extreme end of the line. Other regiments arrived on the hill, with Michigan, New York, and Massachusetts. Below western slope of Little Round Top, Confederate regiments from Alabama and Texas began their attack. As the Confederates fought their way up the hill, they were supported by sharpshooters taking cover in a natural formation of enormous boulders known as Devil's Den. Union artillerymen struggled to carry heavy weapons up the top of the hill. One of the officers involved in the effort was Lieutenant Washington Roebling, son of John Roebling, the noted designer of super expensive bridges. Washington Roebling, after the war, would become the chief engineer of Brooklyn Bridge during its construction. To suppress the fire of Confederate sharpshooters, platoons of the Union-owned elite sharpshooters began arriving on Little Round Top, and as comeback continues in closer quarters, a deadly long-range battle between snipers broke out. Colonel Strawn Vincent, who had faced the defenders, was badly wounded and would die in the field hospital a few days later. And if I'm thinking about the same hospital, wait, Daniel? Oh, Vincent. Sorry, when I was at the field hospital last year, my mom picked up the name Daniel, and for some reason, I just thought I read the name Daniel. It's weird, why would that name all of a sudden appear to my head? Anyway, one of the Union regiments was arrived on the top of Middle Round Top, just in the nick of time, was 140th New York Volunteer Infantry, commanded by Patrick O'Rourke, a young West Point graduate. O'Rourke's men climbed at the top of the hill. As they came over the top, a surging Confederate advance was reaching the top of the western slope. With no time to stop and load rifles, O'Rourke wielding his saber, led the 140 New York in a band charge across the top of the hill and into the Confederate lines. Heroic charge of O'Rourke broke the Confederate attack, but it cost O'Rourke his life. He fell dead, shot through the neck. That actually has to hurt. On the extreme left of the Federal line on the 20th Maine had been ordered to hold its ground at all costs. After several charges by Confederates had been repulsed, the men from Maine were nearly out of ammunition when the Confederates came in a final attack. Joshua Chamberlain, below the order maintenance, his men fixed maintenance, and without ammunition charged down the slope toward the Confederate Army. Stunned by the fury of the 20th Maine's assault and exhausted by the day fighting, many of the Confederates surrendered. The Union line had held Little Round Top was secure. The heroism of Joshua Chamberlain and the 20th Maine was featured in the heroic novel Artillery Angels by Michael Serra. And I'm really sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Which was published in 1974, a novel that was based for the movie Gettysburg, which appeared in 1993. Between popular novel and the film, the story of Little Round Top had often appeared in the public mind as solely the story of the 20th Maine. By holding the high ground at the southern end of the line, Federal troops were able to deny the Confederates the opportunity to completely turn the tide of the battle on the second day. That night, Robert E. Lee, frustrated by the day's event, gave the orders to assault for the assault that would happen on the third day. The attack was would become known as Pickett's Charge, would become a disaster for Lee's army, and would provide a decisive end to the battle and clear a Union victory. Had the Confederate troops managed to seize high ground at Little Round Top, the entire battle would have changed dramatically. It is even convincing that Lee's army might have cut the Union army off from the roads to Washington, D.C., leaving the federal capital open to a great danger. Gettysburg had viewed the turning point of the Civil War, and the fierce comeback at Little Round Top was the turning point of the battle. Civil War battles have been subject of many motion pictures, but one best and most moving was 1993's Gettysburg. During the film at that movie, much was done right on location at the actual battlefields. Some of the participants had unexplained encounters because the film required so many extras to serve as the soldiers. The production hired reenactors to portray in the Union and Confederate armies. During the break in filming on one day, several of the extras were rested at Little Round Top, admiring the setting sun. They were approached by a grizzled old man who described as wearing ragged and sports Union uniform and smelling of sulfur gunpowder. He talked to them about how fierce the battle was as he passed around spare rounds of ammunition, then went on his way. At first the extras assumed he was part of the production company, but their mind changed when they looked closely at the ammunition he gave them. They took the rounds to the man in charge and ripped out such props from the movie. He said they did not come from him. It turns out the ammunition from the strange old man were genuine mugshots from that period. So who was the old man in Union Army? It very well could have been the spirit thinking the war was still on, considering the fact they were in costumes that represented the Union and Confederate troops. It is possible that many soldiers believe that the war is still going on after 150 years. and probably more by now, maybe 152. One of the two. The reenactment of the Civil War had recently passed, given that it was July of last month. This is one of the many reasons why my mom and I tried to go, not on the days of the reenactments, but trying to go in Gettysburg. But luckily we're going next week, and by the time I probably do a video, it will probably be me showing Jenny Wayne House, the orphanage, or any places in person. Anyway, thank you for watching my videos and channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I am Haunting and this is my channel. I'll speak to you later. And until next time.